YouTube? Sandy Frank here today, back in our studio, regular studio again. All these special sales and garage sales and shows are done, and now we can get back to just doing stuff from our regular studio. I had to relocate a bunch of stuff, so it's good to be back. So, this week's episode of Hobby Talk, I wanted to do an episode about the brand new black and white set. Maybe I should do them like this. The Black Bolt White Flare. The first time ever in America, in English, that we are getting two sets released at the same time. Now, they do this in Japan quite often. But, and then the American sets, the English sets, are kind of like pieced together from these multiple sets in Japan. So this is the first time where the black and white, or the Black Bolt and White Flare, two separate Japanese sets, are going to be two separate English sets. So pretty exciting. I wanted to give some thoughts about it though. So as we know, right now in America, English Pokemon cards are extremely difficult to get, very high demand. It's like unprecedented how in demand this stuff is right now. And I wanted to put forth my strategy for black and white. Now, I was able to, since I do have some online card shop, like trusted online card shops that I've dealt with in the past, I have those. Thankfully, I have those resources to go to, and I was able to get a ETB of each on pre-order at, it wasn't a great price, I'm going to tell you that, but it was less than what you can see them right now online for. So, and I got one of the posters, or no, the binder collections of each one. So my plan with it is that's it. Unless I find it like out in the wild or at retail price, that's all I'm buying. I'll keep the two ETBs, put them away, and I'll open the binder pack things to get packs for my collection. That's it. I'm not playing the game of paying super high prices on these sets. Whenever, we don't know 5 years from now what those sets are going to be like, how many times they're going to get reprinted, all this. It's just, there's so much hype right now. I mean, that's what's going on. So, one thing I will say though is there is a strategy that could be deployed that if you have a chance to buy from one of these places, I guarantee you, I've already seen it in practice, that if equal numbers of the Black Bolt and equal numbers of White Flare are available, the Black Bolts will go first. Maybe that's just a reflection people are more into Zekrom than Reshiram. But from what I'm seeing is people will snatch up all the Black Bolt sets and packages and all that kind of stuff, or special, box sets and stuff. And then next we'll go to the Reshiram. So if you see some there, like at a store or something, and you're like, man, which one I should buy? Take the Black Bolt, because it's going to be gone first. And you can always go back and try to find Reshiram later. The White Flare. I'm calling it Reshiram, but it's the White Flare set. This is Reshiram. This is Black Bolt. Just so you don't get them mixed up. This is Zekrom, the black Pokemon. These were introduced in the black and white era. In the black and white set, some outstanding full arts. The very first ever full art cards were Zekrom and Reshiram. So they're pretty historic in terms of Pokemon history. Does that make sense? Historic in history? Yeah, they're pretty historic throughout the years of Pokemon. That the very first ever full art cards were indeed from the black and white set. And of course, there was full art cards in Emerging Powers. There were full art cards in Noble Victories, and then the very first textured full art cards came in the next Destiny set. So Black and White is a really historic era because it introduced us to these full art cards, which, you know, they dominate. All the big hits nowadays are full art cards and special illustrations and all that sort of stuff. So this is kind of like the birth of it all, was the black and white era. And we're revisiting it with Black Bolt and White Flare. And in fact, I believe the black and white era was Generation 5 Pokemon. Okay? So every single Generation 5 Pokemon, which is all the Pokemon that were introduced in the black and white era, they have cards in the set. And they also all have illustration rares. So really exciting and very interesting. And at least in Japan, they have a new, like a hyper rare card that's a Big Chase, which I'm sure will be the Big Chase in English too. And that is the full art. There's a black full art card of Zekrom and a white full art card of Reshiram. You can only get the Reshiram in White Flare. You can only get the Zekrom in Black Bolt. And those are going to be very tough to pull, one. Number two, they look awesome. I mean, they look awesome in Japanese. I know the English will look awesome too. And it'll cause the original ones to skyrocket, which we're already seeing that. So, like, black and white era is like some of the lowest printed stuff out there. And now there's getting light shown in the black and white era. It's really going to cause black and white era stuff to really start blowing up. And this is like the era of my kids were starting to play Pokemon. So I know that generation is now grown up. They're getting money to spend on hobbies. And of course, they're going to love this. So you might wonder why, who cares about black and white era? Well, there's a whole generation of Pokemon players that this was their first Pokemon. So it's pretty exciting. I mean, especially for me, that's when me and my kids were buying Pokemon packs, was the end of the Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and into the black and white era. So very cool. But I just wanted to give you my thoughts on it. I think they're really interesting that they're doing both sets at once, and they're not tiny sets. They're full-blown sets. I don't know how many cards are in each one, but I mean, you're talking every Pokemon has a illustration rare. There's going to be a lot of cards in that set, and it's going to be madness trying to make a set of that, just like it has been with a lot of these recent sets. So just because it's black and white, it's not going to be easy to find. But if you do find it and you can only pick one, pick the Black Bolt, because the Black Bolts will go first. The White Flares are still going to be awesome, but they will, just by natural tendency, these will last longer in stock than the Black Bolts. And I'm pretty sure they're going to be making equal amounts. So, yeah. If you see Black Bolt, snatch it. I'd snatch one of both if I could. But if you can only pick up one and they're both there, grab the Black Bolt, because I think you have a better shot of coming back later when you maybe you can only afford to buy one box. The White Flares will be around longer. So just little tips from the Sandy Frank channel. I'm excited for this set. I think the cards look amazing. I actually picked up some loose cards that were Japanese, and great arts. The arts in the set are fantastic. Of course we expect that with every Pokemon set nowadays. But I give two Sandy Frank thumbs up to the White Flare and Black Bolt sets, and pretty exciting to see how these do in English, which I think they're going to do great. And again, these are specialty sets. There aren't booster boxes. I think there are booster bundles. And I know there's, yes, there's booster boxes in Japan. I'm talking about English. In English, there'll be ETBs and like specialty products like the binder box sets and stuff like that. There's not going to be like an English booster box. So, pretty exciting. Pokemon just keeps on hitting home runs lately. I believe there's a upcoming soon is going to be a Mega. They're reintroducing the Mega Pokemon. Oh, it's going to cause the XY era to blow up, because that's where all the original Mega Pokemon came from. It's pretty pretty interesting what Pokemon's doing, and they just have this well of nostalgia and awesome stuff that they've done in the past that they can draw back on. You know, not reprinting it, just, you know, re-inspiring with these older ideas that bring in and bringing back people back into Pokemon. It's just like a perfect storm that's constantly brewing. All right, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, guys. Were you able to get any Black Bolt or White Flare? You know, one thing I will say is if you just are not interested in paying secondary prices or inflated prices, non-retail prices, I should say, of the English, the Japanese cards are fantastic and look amazing, and they're basically, I think, not, don't quote me on this, but I believe they're identical cards in the English to Japanese. So they do have the Japanese booster boxes that aren't crazy priced, and you just want to open them and enjoy the art. That might be the best way to go. They're pretty readily available. I was able to get some, and I could have got more the other day, and I didn't do it just because I already have a box of each. All right, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos later.